Adapted from Stephen King's book series, The Dark Tower is an 8-part story that follows Roland Deschain, a gunslinger living in the assumedly futuristic midworld. Roland is on a quest to reach the Dark Tower, said to be the nexus of all universes, while in pursuit of the Man in Black. Stephen King cites Clint Eastwood and J.R.R. Tolkien as inspirations, and the story mixes sci-fi, horror, and fantasy against a Western backdrop. Epic in nature, the story was so big that filmmakers have struggled for the better part of a decade to bring it to the big screen. The first pass at a film version came 25 years after the first book was published, in 2007, when Lost creators J.J. Abrams and Damon Lindelof optioned the rights to the film version from Stephen King for $19, a number often referenced in the books. Abrams and Lindelof were big fans of the series, but backed out of the project 2 years later. In an interview with USA Today, Lindelof said, "You'll be hard-pressed to find a huger fan of The Dark Tower than me, but that's probably the reason that I shouldn't be the one to adapt it." In April 2010, Universal Pictures announced that they would be reviving the project and bringing Ron Howard on board to direct, with Akiva Goldsman as writer. The deal included 3 films and a TV series, a massive undertaking both creatively and financially. Javier Bardem was brought on to star as Roland, and the first film was slated to be released May 17, 2013. However, Universal kept pushing the project back, and a few months later canceled the film entirely, citing budgetary complications. Howard and King continued to hope for another studio to pick it up, and in 2015, Sony Pictures announced that it would produce the film. Ron Howard would not direct, however, but would remain on as producer. Instead, Sony brought on Nikolai Arcel to direct, with a reworked script from Goldsman, Nikolai, and Jeff Pinkner. In January 2016, it was announced that Idris Elba would star as Roland, with Matthew McConaughey as the Man in Black. The story's timeline has been a hotly debated secret, with reports indicating that it may take place after the events of the books. This would most certainly be a workaround to the undertaking of adapting the entire series. Production officially began in April 2016, and fans will officially see The Dark Tower on the big screen in February 2017.